started going out to California and LA, and I met this amazing guy. He's older, he seemed to have all the check boxes: athlete, education, model, actor. We got into this relationship, and I thought he really liked me, and he'd fly me out on the weekends. And one day he pulled me aside and said, I look at you as a really good investment. I want to get you a stylist so our clothes can match whenever we go to these big fancy events. He's going to get me plastic surgery to fix all the imperfections. We'll get you a nice apartment, a personal trainer. We're going to have all these things, and I'm going to need to get my hypnotist to talk to you. He said that God was holding us back in our relationship. I knew all the right things in a Christian household. I knew my Bible verses, but I really struggled with following Jesus. Flew back later that night, and I was just throwing pillows and crying and so angry. I'm like, God, why this decision? I know you're there. You haven't really shown yourself. Are you there? These are things that I think I need in my life. There's just this quiet voice that says, I was there. You've been running from me, and I've been there your entire life. Are you going to follow me, or are you not going to follow me? I said, fine, God, I'm going to trust you, and I don't know what that looks like, but I laid it down that night. I declined the deal out in LA, and God's been faithful. God brought the most amazing man into my life. He loves Jesus, and he loves to read, and he loves to learn, and he loves to study. And I knew I was a Christian, I knew I was following Jesus, but I started to lose that feeling. It just didn't feel like Jesus was there all the time. And I started to struggle, and somebody had given my husband an apologetic book. This started a tremendous phase in his life, and my husband's like, you should read these books. And my husband and I now teach classes on apologetics with Muslims, Christians, coming together, learning who God is and how we can share our faith in a monotheistic God. I started watching the videos of the Arabs that had found Jesus and the Jews that had found Jesus. And I was mind blown, because I'm these are the answers that I had the questions that I didn't know I had the questions. And this is who Jesus is and who God is. So for our 20th anniversary, my husband and I were going to visit Israel. This was a trip we had been planning for years. We are going to go as part of an apologetics tour, seeing the history, learning more about the Bible, really doing a deep dive into what Israel is, the history, the culture, the Jewish people, the Jewish nation. And it was scheduled for October 2023. Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th, a week before we were supposed to leave. But it was deemed that it was too unsafe for us to go. Talked to my husband, I'm like, we need to start getting behind an organization that is providing humanitarian aid, but in the name of Jesus, because regardless what side of the war you're on, knowing Jesus is going to change your life. He was like, oh, how about one for Israel? And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. And then we started realizing that our whole roots in apologetics were actually started on One for Israel. It was kind of coming full circle, where we had actually been learning from One for Israel for a long time through the videos and things like that. And for this organization to be able to use the internet and the tools that they have, so people can go in the privacy of their home or the privacy of their car and watch a video or subscribe to the channel in safety, is tremendous. I love it that this ministry is reaching Jews and Arabs together side by side. Jesus was a Jew. Jesus came from the Jewish bloodline. And, he came to die for the whole world. He came to die for the Jews and then for the Gentiles. And for us to be able to love our Jewish neighbors and support them and help them is what I think Jesus would want us to do. My name is Peggy from Ohio, and I am One for Israel.